Hi everyone, Angela here. I hope that you guys have had an amazing week filled with a lot of positivity and light. The message for the past 2 weeks has been about honest, open communication with yourself as well as with others. The message is know your truth, speak your truth, live your truth. So, this is another deep one. Because I think this is something that most of us, many of us at least, struggle with our entire lives to live our truth and at least to understand ourselves and our motivations and to be able to speak it and live it is something we strive our whole lives for. Our truths are constantly changing as we grow and evolve and meet new people and experience new things, and our perception shift. Our truth changes, and therefore our lives change, and how we choose to live it changes. I think the main thing I'd like everyone to take away from this message is really to know thyself. And to know yourself, it means to acknowledge. To acknowledge every part of you, the stuff that's hidden that nobody gets a chance to see. Even the stuff that isn't so pretty, you still need to acknowledge that because that's part of the truth in who you are. And it doesn't mean that you can't change it, because you absolutely can. And you know, I'm a huge fan and supporter of things like tapping and positive affirmations and meditation and things like that, because there's so much more to personal transformation than just one modality. But it all starts in every single instance with acknowledging I am. And acknowledging it, even if it's not something that you necessarily ever put out there for anybody, you still need to acknowledge that that's a part of you. And like I said, it doesn't mean you can't change it, but you have to acknowledge it. That's where you start. Knowing your truth, knowing your ideals and your morals and your boundaries, and it's understanding your history does not make who you are. Your story does not make you. You make your story. So in this moment right now, in this moment and every moment that follows, you have that choice to be who you want to be, to live whatever truth you choose to. It is very difficult for a lot of us to be able to speak our truths and live our truths. And there's so many people that I meet, clients that I have, that are amazingly spiritual. They're healers, and they are extremely intuitive and, gifted in so many things that, I get to live in every day. I'm so blessed, but unfortunately, a lot of them work in corporate America, and they're lawyers, and they work for big corporations, and they're accountants, and they're things that maybe necessarily don't mesh with who they view themselves to be or their truths, and that happens to a lot of us as we get caught up in things that I like to always say that we call reality, and bills and responsibilities and things like that. And I totally get that, and I understand that it's very difficult sometimes to be able to live your truth completely. But a large part of that is releasing the fears and going with it and acknowledging it. And okay, maybe you can't leave your job or your situation or X, Y, or Z, but you can choose to react differently in these situations, or create a niche for yourself where you can find that balance. And it is entirely possible, and you can do it, but you have to acknowledge the truth before you can make any changes. Now, speaking your truth and living your truth, I am not that aggressive person that's going to push myself on anyone. I am so thankful for all of you watching, but I am not a pushy person. It's not me. I like to spread light and love organically. I like it to spread that way. It's not something I want to ram down anyone's throat. I want you to be able to choose. And so if you choose to acknowledge my truth, that's awesome, but I'm not pushing it on anyone. But I will certainly share it with anyone who asks. That's me. But the one thing that I am very proud of is that I do not lie about my truth to myself or to others. I try not to lie to myself. And that's something I know a lot of us fall into, and I've been guilty of it quite a few times, because you don't want to acknowledge certain parts of yourself. But there comes a point when, look, I am who I am, and who you are is beautiful. Even with the dingy parts, even with the parts that never see the light of day, you are beautiful and you are perfect just as you were created. And you can continue to change and grow and evolve. Like I said, your story does not make you, you make your story. So I think it's really important to have that honest, open communication with yourself before you can even have it with anybody else. I think you need to have it with yourself and acknowledge your truth and who you are and who you want to be, and your goals, and all this stuff kind of plays into it. And eventually, somewhere along the way, the more you acknowledge those truths, the more your old life and the old people around you fall away, because you're acknowledging something new, and you release a lot of the old baggage and the fears, and so it opens you up to be able to grab for something new and incredible and amazing. It opens your life up for you if you just release those fears holding you back from being who you truly are and who you long to be. So, know your truth. Speak your truth, live your truth. It is so exhilarating. I can't even begin to tell you. It's so freeing to truly be exactly who you are. So I encourage you to do it every day. Incorporate a bit of who you are every day into your daily rituals. So part of, for example, of what I do is every single day I meditate, because that's me and that's who I am. And I say positive affirmations every morning, because that's part of my truth and who I am. And maybe part of who you are is, you're an animal lover, so you want to volunteer at an animal shelter. Or maybe part of who you are is a teacher, but you work as something else and you can't teach. Well, there's no reason why you can't be a mentor to someone. So start living a bit more of your truth every day, and you'll find yourself really going down the path to being able to do that for a living. It will find you if you open that door. So, as I said, I wish you all a wonderful, amazing week. And if you haven't had a wonderful, positive, amazing week, do as my mom always says, make it a great day. So I wish you guys every blessing the universe has to offer, as always. If you'd like to know more about me, you can feel free to check me out on the website, www.holisticwellnessnj.com. You can like this video and like me on Facebook, because I always appreciate it, guys. I do. I love the love and support, and I try and give it right back to you. So be open to the healing, because you know I'm sending it. You can also check out the YouTube channel, Angela Roberts LMT, for more meditations and how-tos and things like that. And I will hopefully in the next week be putting something up on tapping, because I had many requests for it, and so I will do a quick tapping video so you guys can see what it's all about and how fun it is. I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Until then, spread the positivity and love.